Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Atlanta Family Morning Devotion, Atlanta Family Church Morning Devotion, everybody. And it's nice to see everybody. So the first thing first, we want to do every single time we start is to do a half bow towards our heavenly parents and true parents. Let me just put that on the screen. All right. Chanjin Champumonim Kyumbe. Paro. Let us do our family pledge. Number 1. Our family, the eternal Guk, pledges to seek our original homeland and build the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven, the original idea of creation, by centering on true love. Number 2. Our family, the eternal Guk, pledges to represent and become central to heaven and earth by attending the heavenly parent and true parents. We pledge to perfect the dutiful family way of filial sons and daughters in our family, patriots in our nation, saints in the world, and divine sons and daughters in heaven and on earth by centering on true love. Number 3, our family, the eternal Guk, pledges to perfect the 4 great realms of heart, the 3 great kingships, and the realm of the royal family by centering on true love. And number 4, our family, the eternal Guk, pledges to build a universal family encompassing heaven and earth, which is the heavenly parent's ideal of creation, and perfect the world of freedom, peace, unity, and happiness by centering on true love. Number 5, our family, the eternal Guk, pledges to strive every day to advance the unification of the spirit world and the physical world as subject and object partners by centering on true love. And number 6, our family, the eternal Guk, pledges to become a family that moves heavenly fortune by embodying the heavenly parent and true parents, and to perfect a family that conveys heaven's blessing to our community by centering on true love. Number 7, our family, the eternal Guk, pledges through living for the sake of others to perfect the world based on the culture of heart, which is rooted in the original lineage by centering on true love. And number 8, our family, the eternal Guk, pledges, having entered the era of eternal Guk, to achieve the ideal of God and human beings united in love through absolute faith, absolute love, and absolute obedience, and to perfect the realm of liberation, complete freedom in the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven by centering on true love. And I would implore you to read that on your own time as well, because sometimes when you're just reading along, you're not hearing the words. So if you ever get the time, reading the family pledge on your own, just on your own time, not trying to keep pace or anything, it's a great way to understand what the family pledge means. So, and so before we continue, we would love to get a prayer. I'd like to ask about Mrs. Matsunaga. Would you like to give us a prayer this morning?
Let us pray. Good morning, we most lovely heavenly parents and precious true parents. Thank you for this opportunity. Atlanta community members gather together in front of you. Please guide this morning devotion to start this new day with you, heavenly parents and true parents. We always think and pray for true mother in father nation, Korea, how much she displayed to make unity, North and South Korea, and offer to heavenly parents. We heard she even couldn't sleep, how much she seriously and to restore this nation to heavenly parents. We are working in America as elder son nation. We really want help and support to mother. We really want understand deeply heavenly parents and true parents' hard and difficult situation. We really want to be your sons and daughters. We want to open up true parents and heavenly parents, painful and tearful heart. We want to give you back joyful and happiness to you, heavenly parents. Please guide this morning devotion to, we want to be close to your heart. We really thank you this opportunity. I offer humble my heart with in my name and Hideshita Sako Matsunaga, Blessed Central Family, Adieu.
And to thank you for that beautiful prayer, Mrs. Matsunaka. Very beautiful prayer and really expressing our hearts for your parents and the parents. Alrighty. So we're gonna go ahead and jump into our breakout rooms because the best part of our mornings should be our gratitudes. So let's jump into our breakout rooms to share our gratitudes for the morning. We'll see you in 7 minutes. Should have opened by now. Give me one moment, everybody. I'll come back to the main room. Alrighty. Actually, one more second. All right, thank you for waiting. Sorry about that. All right, welcome back. So I would love to hear about your gratitudes this morning and see how you guys are doing. And first thing I would like to ask, I haven't seen Mrs. Label for a while, so I would like to ask if you'd like to share this morning. Oh, Label? Not muted, right? If not, no? Okay. All right, so I guess it's okay. And so I'll ask for gratitude of, how about the Graces? Would you like to share your gratitude this morning?
Just briefly, my gratitude was that my wife and I, because of our physical problems, we could not sleep together. For the first time after a long time, almost a year, we can sleep together last night, and I felt the experience I felt when I was on my fundraising team. You know, it's like a freedom. It's not a sluggish wake up in the physical body. It's a clear mind. And I just thought about the principle immediately. Wow, the power of the principle will be missing it all this time, you know. So that's one gratitude. The other gratitude, I was the topic of discussion for the since Sunday service, most recent Sunday service, was Tomoko-san and Bruce Gordon, their children. I watched those two and their families, or their couples, offer devotion regularly, and I saw the power and profundity results of their devotion, along with their children going to GPA. And I'm just very moved by their children. So I'm grateful for their devotion. It's my gratitude.
I'm grateful for the help of the positive spirit world during my life, because when I look back at my life, I can see that there were many situations where I had protection or guidance or just help. And also I'm grateful for my spiritual mother, because when she met me, she had very strong spiritual problems. She was influenced by the resentful, negative spirit world very strongly, and she was struggling at that time. But she still went out to witness, and she met me, and thanks to her, I know the church. Even after this, she kind of left the church and even turned against the church, but still she was there, and I'm grateful for her. So.
Thank you for your sharings. Yes, thank you for your beautiful sharings. And I would also like to ask, Ozama-san, would you be able to share your gratitude this morning?
Excuse me. I'm grateful. We know two parents, and through two parents, we could know our two happy parents, yesterday, we are at the Gwinnett Technological College to do witnessing, and somehow every Wednesday, the Korean gentleman, he's a student, he's old, 50s, and he likes to meet us and usually he is with a Congolian brother. Anyhow, his name is Mr. Lee, Joseph Mr. Lee, and the brother's name is. Thing is, yesterday was my daughter's birthday, so my husband made a lot of sushi rolls, and I brought there, and he enjoyed, have a lunch together and at one table, and he was so happy, and then he called a friend there. He's the friend is the janitor there, but somehow he had a connection that he brought new people, and he said, eat more. It's kind of, we are not really talking about the divine principle, but having making some community there. So we like to do flow as a heavenly parent, guiding us. That was my gratitude. So kind of become bigger community. That's all for now. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Azama-san. We would love to see the sushi rolls as well, and happy belated birthday for your daughter. And thank you for sharing and really talking about your guest as well. And so thank you for the graces and Ozama-san for sharing this morning. Gratitudes are always the best. So to really start off the morning. So even if you don't join morning devotion, you wake up a little bit late, or you just watch the recording later, make sure you do your gratitudes, because it is the first step to really seeing what God has given to us every morning. So it's a great step to start in the morning. All right. So this morning, we're going to go ahead and jump into the memoir. I believe we're on chapter 5. Apologize, there's some noise outside my window. All right. So we're going to start on chapter 5. If I'm on the wrong page, please go ahead and tell me. If not, I'm going to go ahead and continue. All right. So chapter 5, the emblem of the kingdom of heaven. The most beautiful flowers of Korea. The first people hear the little angels sing. They are astonished. They feel swept up in a beautiful wave of love and harmony. I hear comments like these all the time. To me, it sounds like the voices of angels. And if one person expresses such admiration, the next will pour out even more praise. Now, what am I listening to is not a song. It is a happy chorus that brings rain to a parched soul. If we were to capture the distinctive feature of the unification movement in one phrase, it would be the culture of filial heart. Filial heart, for which I coined the Korean word hyojung, signifies sincere devotion and love towards our heavenly parent, for which my husband coined the Korean word shimjung, is the essence of beauty and the original root of love. It is a beauty that stimulates love to surge forth eternally. The culture of heart transcends times and space. In the world where God's will has been realized, the pure and immaculate culture of heart will flow forth like a river and waft like a breeze through all forms of artistic creativity. Founded in 1962. I don't know what happened there. And this Little Angels picture, they were found in 1962. And Little Angels have performed some 7,000 times around the world. I don't know what's happening with the pages here. Hold on. Okay, that's good. As Jesus said of the little children, the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these. A child sleeping peacefully in the epitome of peace. A child's innocent smile clearly illustrates what happiness is. A child's voice is gentle, but it opens the door to the heart, reconciles strangers, and expresses happiness and peace. It is the power of the innocent voices of children, joined in song, that led my husband and I to found the Little Angels of Korea, a children's folk dance and singing troupe. During the Korean War, I saw many talented artists who were poor and homeless. seeking refuge and unable to display their work. During this time of Korea's post-war poverty, few people believed in the power of music and dance. No one even listened when my husband and I talked about culture and the arts. All they did was shake their heads and said, "It's difficult just finding enough to eat. Don't waste your time thinking about culture." But in my view, culture is not a luxury. It is a life essential. For 5,000 years, the Korean people refined culture as part of everyday life. We are a people of the arts. The Korean culture is unique and beautiful, even though some of it was lost during the deprivation of the 20th century. During my school days, one of my favorite pastimes was drawing. I even thought about becoming an artist. Instead of investing in that dream on a personal level, I helped bring the exceptional beauty of Korean culture onto the world stage. That is how the Little Angels came to be. Korea was in a state of poverty and political turmoil when, on Children's Day, May 5th, 1962, my husband and I founded the Little Angels of Korea's children's folk ballet. Within our membership, there was many dissenting voices. Their first argument was that if we lacked the money to build a church, how would we raise money to run a song and dance troupe? Some opinioned that an adult choir would be better than a children's dance troupe. There was perhaps a dozen objections to the plan, but my husband and I remained steadfast, and eventually everyone united behind the Little Angels of Korea. The next hurdle was finding a place for the girls to practice. We managed to get I apologize. I don't know what's going on with this reading. Just gonna use that for now. For the girls to practice, we managed to get free use of a dilapidated warehouse. It has a leaky roof and broken windows with some hasty repairs. We made it into a practice room. There was no stove there, so the girls blew on their hands to keep warm in the winter. Once the news got out about what we were doing, those opposed to our church laughed and said, "Angels flying to heaven. Those girls look like they were splashing around in a swamp." But the girls and their instructor had a passion to succeed. They kept the Little Angels motto in their hearts. A beautiful heart makes a dance beautiful. A beautiful heart makes a song beautiful. A beautiful heart makes a face beautiful. For 3 years, they went through intense training, shedding sweat and tears. After that training, they departed on a world tour with the grand slogan, "Let's take the Korean flag to the world." Mind you, Little Angels' first performance in the fall of 1965 was at a concert for the former US President Dwight D. Eisenhower in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, a place made famous by President Lincoln's address honoring those who died at the turning point of the American Civil War. This was the start of the Little Angels' travel to showcase Korea's beautiful culture. After the concert, President Eisenhower reminisced about his 1952 visit to Korea and praised the dance troupe highly. "It's as if heaven's angels have come down to earth," he said with a gentle smile. It was very bold for this novice group to give its first public performance before a former American president. Even singers and dancers who were well known in their own countries did not impress audiences in the United States. But I was not worried at all. Children singing is innocence itself, and I knew from experience that innocent children create peace and harmony. Starting with the performance at Gettysburg, Little Angels brought joy everywhere they went. They performed in many venues in the United States. When they began Korean songs, such as "Springtime in My Hometown" or "Arirang," people's brows at first would wrinkle due to their unfamiliarity, and they would close their eyes and listen. Finally, they would be moved to tears. So when the Little Angels danced, the little bride and groom in their traditional Korean costumes, people would follow along with the beat and respond with heartfelt applause. When a dancer wearing traditional Korean white socks would raise her feet in the air, representing the elegant and beautiful curves found in Korean art, Westerners were delighted. Even without uttering a single word, the Little Angels conveyed our tradition and beauty. They toured toward the world as ambassadors of Korean culture. And displaying youthful energy, purity, and happiness for which Western audiences were longing. We're going to go into the next section. Heart touches heart. One day, the Little Angels General Director, Dr. Bohi Pak, received an invitation. It was from the United Kingdom. In the early 1970s, it was very difficult for a Korean to go to Great Britain. But amazingly, the Little Angels were invited to perform for the British royal family. Such an invitation had never been before been extended to a performer from anywhere in the Far East, let alone Korea. Now, the dancers quickly packed their bags. Reaching London required that they change plans several times. At the Royal Variety performances at the London Palladium held for Queen Elizabeth II in 1971, among all the outstanding performers. These beautiful girls from the Republic of Korea were a bright light. Their cute yet dynamic and colorful dances brought several standing ovations. The event was highlighted in the newspaper and on television the next day. In the minds of the British people, Korea was no longer a cultural backwater, but rather a nation with vibrant artistic tradition. Hold on. I have it on the end. Okay, there it is. The lovely voices of the Little Angels of Korea have now been heard in more than 80 nations. They have toured 5 continents and performed over 7,000 times, including at the Kennedy Center for Performing Arts in 1971 and the United Nations General Assembly in 1973. They have appeared on television more than 800 times and have met many presidents and prime ministers. They performed for the bicentennial celebration of America's independence and the 10th anniversary of diplomatic relations with China and Korea. They have toured Japan, the United States, Europe, Asia, Africa, and South America. Everywhere they have gone, they have received praise and applause. In the spring of 1990, they performed in Moscow. Soviet Union, and melted the hearts of communist leaders. In May 1998, their performance in Pyongyang, North Korea contributed to efforts for the reconciliation between North and South Korea. Among the most meaningful of the Little Angels tours was when they visited each of the 22 nations that participated in the United Nations response during the Korean War. In 2010, to mark the 60th anniversary of the outbreak of the Korean War, we sent the Little Angels to perform for the war veterans of the 22 nations that had sent troops or the humanitarian and medical aid. It was among the most meaningful of the Little Angels tours. Over a period of 3 years, they visited each nation, offering a performance of gratitude in honor of the veterans. We in Korea had received extraordinary assistance for these nations in our hour of need, and we declared that it was time to give something back. Those whom we met still remembered Korea vividly, and many said they had never ceased loving our country. Some Koreans at home criticized the tour because we were a private group and did not officially represent the government, but represented the heart of the Korean people, as well as God's heart in every country. War veteran proudly came on stage in our performances, wearing their faded uniform and showcasing their medals. This brings up an uplifting story. Ethiopia and the Republic of South Africa were the 2 African nations that sent troops. In the 1980s, when communists took power in Ethiopia, they displaced all the Korean War veterans to a camp in the outskirts of Addis Ababa. In reality, that place was like a concentration camp. The veterans shared painful memories of how the regime had persecuted them and how they had to sell their medals to provide for their families. When they saw the Little Angels, they were moved to tears, and they realized that poor, ragged, divided nation of Korea was now a developed nation ready to thank them. Seeing investment right there. Is that the Little Angels is that correct? The happy ending is that the Little Angels concert brought the veterans' plight to the attention of the present government, which is now making up for the past mistreatment. At the tourist concert in Washington, D.C., Korean War veteran in their 80s, wept there when the Little Angels sang Arirang and God Bless America. In Copenhagen, Denmark, Princess Benedict joined some 300 veterans of the war effort to watch the performance after a warm welcome by Nepalese students and citizens upon the arrival in Kathmandu. The Little Angels performed brilliantly at the inauguration of the International Association of Parliamentarians for Peace, an event that took place in 2016. The Nepalese were deeply moved by the concert held at their presidential palace as well as in the other performance halls, and their media gave the Little Angels high praise. Little Angels are representatives who are answering God's call. They are guardian angels spreading peace worldwide. This is 2019. Cultural Center, SJ Cheon Won. Beautiful place. They came from a warehouse to this. A child alone may not make much impact, but when a group of children come together and swing with pure hearts, their voices can melt. Last portion. Harden hearts and dispel war and conflict. People often think that political moves the world, but that is not the case. It is the culture and art that moves the world. It is emotion, not reason, that touches people in their innermost being. When hearts become receptive, ideologies and political regimes can change. Half a century ago, the Little Angels set out to bring Korean culture to the world. They were a harbinger of the Korean wave, including K-pop, that is currently sweeping the world. Wherever you go in the world, cheers and applause for Korean culture abound. The beginning point of this phenomenon was a Little Angels concert at Gettysburg in 1965. Children's innocent performances continue to captivate audiences and remind skeptics of the truth that we became one. All right, really, no, it's not just about the, of course, it's not just about the Little Angels, but about how Korea really spread, the Korean culture really spread, and that was really dire at the time. And of course, True Parents were the leading fact in that. I think without True Parents, obviously, making a strong point about the importance of Korea, but also listening to God's kind of heart about how to do it. People were obviously against it. They're like, oh, why don't you just make a adult choir, which I don't think would have been as precious or as, because when you get kids on the stage, I feel like you also kind of melt people's hearts, no matter what culture you're from. You get to like melt it a little bit more, but you get to understand kind of like a child's heart when you see the Little Angels up there. So it's I think it was honestly True Parents really pushing that really gave the best way to expand Korean culture. And really at this point of time, they have their own building, they have their own location where they're building from scratch now to a point that they're the new Little Angels are in a well-off place. So obviously investment went somewhere there too. And as we know, arts is not just a hobby, but arts is, maybe I'm a little biased, but arts is a very beautiful part of the world, a very beautiful part of God's heart. So we're going to jump into our breakouts and talk about it more in our groups. So one moment, let me just go ahead and make those. All right, I'll see you all in 7 minutes. Welcome back to the main Zoom room, and I hope the people on YouTube have had a good time also reflecting or discussing with the person next to them about this morning devotion and this morning reading. So right now, I would like to ask two people to share today, and I was wondering if the first person, Mr. Bornface Mabuso, if you'd like to share today.
Yeah, thank you so much. When I first time met can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. The first time when I saw the little angel, I remember the little angel when I joined the church. They were already there in the early 80s, and I was hoping that one day I would see them physically and so on. But when I was here in America, when they came, I really felt so much connected to them because I was longing to meet them and see them dance. And when they came for the veterinaries. And I saw a lot of veterinaries who came to be honored by these little angels. Maybe for a long time, these veterinaries were very old. When they realized that the little girls from Korea came to honor them, they felt so really pleased that even their own people here in America, nobody really recognized them. I remember under Douglas MacArthur, the general, who really helped True Father go across the 30 parallel of North Korea and DMZ. Finally, these Korean young girls came all the way to Korea to come and say, thank you so much for have helped our church to survive. Because initially, if these veterinaries were not there, so strong, so determined, pushed by Heavenly Father to come and help overcome communism, and True Parent was not going to be there, our providence was going to take another 2,000 years or so to have our True Parent. But they realized that. Thank you so much, veterinaries, for saving our church and saving us so much. So we live happily now because of them. And True Mother is able to share this memoir because of them. If you can remember when True Mother was very young, around 5-7 years old, trying to cross from North Korea to South Korea, if these people were not so strong, determined, and driven by Heavenly Father, probably True Mother was not going to cross to South Korea. Thank God, with this General Douglas MacArthur, we saved the providence of human restoration. We really thank them so much. And I was with Miss Anderson. She told me that his father was also in there in DMC, trying to rescue everybody from North Korea to South Korea. So I really appreciate for those people who were fighting through bullets to save other people. So we have to really thank veterinary mostly, not necessarily only for Korean papers, for everybody in the world. And I also know that Ethiopia and South Africa, where I come from, mostly they sent also some veterinaries for True Mother. It's a providence. Now it doesn't mean anything, but later, maybe 20, 40, or 200 years to come, we'll be in the map for the spiritual salvation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing and really talking about the veterans and really how they make an impact, because I think sometimes when they're out in war, they don't actually think about it. They don't actually they say that they're doing it for the country, but maybe they don't fully understand it or fully feel it yet. And then when they see the fruits of it in the future, in this case, as a general, I don't know if it's General MacArthur, he made an impact in actually changing the providence in actually helping and supporting true parents. So that was, they didn't even know what kind of impact that they were making sometimes, but really the veterans for this country, but also just the impact that they've been making. So thank you for that, Mr. Bornface. And one more person I'd like to ask is, okay, Mrs. Esther Tamale, could you share this morning? Oh, if you can unmute. Oh, if you can unmute.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, my takeaway this morning shared with that we are very grateful. I'm sincerely very grateful for the foundation of our two parents, blood, sweat, and tears. And of course, like I always tell my family, we're here not by accident, not by coincidence. We're here because our ancestors paid so much indemnity, so much blood, sweat, and tears for us to come and meet our two parents and meet this movement. And of course, like Brother Boniface say that so many people paid indemnity, so many, ancestors from different countries. And I always remember that same with our elders who paid indemnity to sustain and to follow our two parents in order for some of us to be here. And of course, very grateful for the little angels, such a beautiful soul, witnessing, going around the world, conveying the message through their art, music, and dance. We can never repay, our two parents for what they have done, what they have gone through. We can always be grateful. And, like they paid indemnity, our ancestors did, and now, what are we going to do? What am I going to do to leave something behind for the generation to come to remember, that me being here, representing them, what I'm doing to set the tone for them to follow. Yeah, I'm very grateful. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The investment. Thank you for your sharing today and really being able to talk about also true parents' blood, sweat, and tears, and of course, determination when the whole world was against them was a big factor in that, and for anything that they've done in this world. So also obviously very grateful for this point. And yeah, for the arts and culture, that's definitely something that I feel like was something that was on top of their mind as well. It wasn't something that was neglected. It wasn't something as a hobby, like I said earlier, but really something that was beautiful. So thank you so much for also sharing about everything that you shared about and really being able to talk about your parents like that. So thank you. And I also want to thank Mr. Bornface again, and we'll be moving on to our second to last thing before we close off morning devotion once again. We're going to go ahead and do the song of victory.
So we're going to keep it upbeat. So let's raise our spirits, raise the roof, and let's prepare our hearts for our message today. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Sing Hosanna evermore. Sing of glory evermore. For the Lord has come again. Sing Hosanna evermore. Heaven dances. of glory evermore. For the Lord has come again. Sing Hosanna. I want to hear you more. Louder. Sing Hosanna evermore. Sing of glory evermore. For the Lord has come again. Sing Hosanna evermore. One last time. Sing Hosanna evermore. Sing of glory evermore. For the Lord has come again. Sing Hosanna evermore. Praise God, praise God.
All right, thank you. Okay, let us start our 7-minute prayer. So please unmute yourselves and we'll be able to just do a 7-minute prayer.
Parents, your
Most precious God, Heavenly parents, we are so grateful today to live in this beautiful time of our lives when we can see
thank you
all the foundation through parents is making. We see the world fighting to separate good and bad, ignorance, that we, Unification Church member, we know that our true parents are here. When we think for everything we have to accomplish, that we know is more heavy for you, God. It's more heavy for our parents. It's more heavy for true father and spiritual.
and many
And
blessings.
especially extremely more heavy our true mothers.
We thank you, thank you,
Parents. This parent point, the world going to embrace our movement have to embrace all our faith beyond everything we have. In ourselves, totally beloved parents, see ourselves from you. They follow the direction to the last moment. Always the parents, we want to give you our heart
And that's right now.
and our mind. Flexible like small children. We read this morning. Your voice can stand straight directly in our hearts.
The most precious thing,
Holy voice, pure voice, Father, the pure inspiration can help even parents change Yes, beloved parents, we pray in this moment. You are the one who is showing us the direction.
We need to be able to understand.
And then now, give us, true parents give us a new blessing. Especially today, and the Cheon Shim Won everywhere, that we can embrace your holy heart.
Right now,
We can develop empathy. That's why we pray, beloved parents. We can have the beautiful relationship, sincerity, brothers and sisters. Understand, Father God. Your spirit be in beautiful place. Even when people come, you welcome, Father God. Beloved parents, Father God.
Father,
It has to these little angels. Expression of spirit.
we need a God
Expression of this is the way all our hearts supposed to become. Like those small children that we can sing, we can talk, we can smile. People can feel the beauty of our hearts. and they can feel God through us.
To let it know you.
Father God, we want to heal our language, our heart, our ears,
Our heart is
our mouth, everything coming.
so
And being able, Father God, represent you. You have already gone through belonging. Love
Father,
everybody.
celebrate
So much for this experience you're giving us now. Any situation we can be, out of it,
I hear say even
because you want
even
to accomplish your will and desire. Yes, love every parents to
but to say
all kind of the barrier.
Father guide him
Because for you, you don't have barrier with us.
please guide us.
You don't have barrier
Lord, to be
when you do it, Father God.
Jesus,
Your flowers.
Love
Love every parents you want to create your original culture in this world. And we want Father to learn,
Father, send us
embrace it. We pray that this Atlanta community will have transformation, Father God. Bring to our children distance, but they connect to each other. Father God, listen,
Unify the
good and
heavenly
bad.
Father, for you to believe
You can teach their heart, all the young children, all the prayer, the condition of making in this community. The good spirit can start, beloved parents, in this community, and they break down all the blocks that are live in this community. That we can pass through with understanding of even parents, that we can have the attitude of repentance. When we lost many times, Father God, people with history of many mistakes, accomplish everything you want for us.
Father,
Father God, we want to follow and support attitude of humility and love. Love every parent. We want to learn how to be humble for everything, Father God. Realize our weakness, realize every day our missing, and then clean our heart and humbly love every parents while we walking together, brothers and sisters, that we can create the spirit of family. Precious beloved parents, Father God, so much again. Pray that you can give us everything we pray for our new leaders, Diana and Ilya. We want just to support them and repent ourselves. God,
이 나라 자는데 동길 동길이어서 오라 동길이 오라. All right, thank you everybody for joining today's morning devotion, and I would advise to really be able to keep investing into morning devotion every single morning. This is our way to understand and get the master key eventually. I guess you could say also to be able to understand not our master key, the God check. This is our God check every single morning, right? And to also, this is a great way to, I think Mrs. Tamale said it earlier, but to revive ourselves every single morning, so we can be able to also invest into our well, for me, my future children, but a lot of you have children here, so this is a great way for us to be able to invest into our families and to keep doing it, because sometimes when we don't have morning devotion, when we don't have really something that I can, like Kundoke, it's hard to, feel the love of God, but really pray that, really hope that you can keep joining morning devotion and really be able to revitalize each and every one of our souls, keep reconnecting to really having that check with God. All right. So other than that, a few other announcements that we have today is, other than just obviously continuing with morning devotion, we're going to be physically coming officially in a couple of weeks. So we have let this out, or already out of the bag, but we're going to be driving down soon, officially with all our stuff, and settled down with Atlanta, Georgia. So we're so grateful that we get to do that. Actually, we're very excited for that moment. So we're happy to see you all. And just to say, this past weekend has really, I felt like, solidified me and Diane. Of course, we're from New York, but we feel like Georgia is really our home now. So we're grateful for you guys and everything and everybody there. So we are, other than that, I don't believe we have any other announcements at the moment. Yeah, okay. So that is all I would like to say. Thank you for joining Atlanta Family Church Family Morning Devotion, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a good day, everybody.
Have a good day, Pastor
Bye,
Ian.
everyone. Enjoy your
Yes, have a good
day.
day.
God
Yes,
bless.
how
Brothers and
about you too?
sisters, hello, good morning. His blessings.
Yes,
Have a beautiful day.
God
you
bless.
too.
Bye. Thankful Thursday to
Yeah.
everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Debo, where you be?